Welcome back to AFTV. I've got Christian with me. Christian, wow. Arsenal 4, Atlético Madrid 0. Now, even the most bipartisan, ardent, passionate Arsenal fan never saw that coming, right?
No one could have seen that coming. I think before the game, a lot of the talk was, it's going to be defence against defence. They've got, they're a solid defensive unit, which they are, and so are we.
They were.
Yeah, for a lot of that game. But I did say before the game as well, I didn't think it would be that. They scored a lot of goals this season. They scored 5 against Real Madrid. They scored 2 against Liverpool. They've scored 3 in multiple games. And I thought they got quality up top. When you got a player like Julian Alvarez up front, you'd be silly, especially a coach as good as Simeone, not to build the team around him and build the team to get goals and go through him. So I knew they'd have a go. I knew they'd come out eventually. And I thought we started the game well. I thought first 15, 20 minutes were really good. I thought we had, some nice passages of play. We had a few chances, nothing maybe clear cut, but we were good and we set up really well. I think we were by far and away the better team. We pushed them, forced them into a low block. They had a few chances on the counter. I think Alvarez had a chance where he was in down the left. We got a good block in.
There was that mad moment.
Crazy mental moment from David Raya where he's, should just clear the ball and tries to let it go out for a goal kick. And then they have a chance where he misses technically an open goal. But apart from that, we defended well. Again, resolute defensive performance. And I think we created more than enough to score at least 1 or 2 goals in the first half. We didn't. It was 0-0. And I said at half-time, I said during the Fulham game, when it was 0-0 at half-time, I have no doubt that we're going to go on and win this game. And I said it today at 0-0. I said, we'll create more than enough chances in the second half to win this game. I have no doubt. And we saw exactly what happened.
Yeah, an amazing second half. I mean, who would you say is your player of the match?
I think it's between a few. Look, you could look at Gyökeres. He scored 2 goals in the Champions League against a great Atlético Madrid side. You could give it to him. You could give it to Gabriel. I think defensive performance, clean sheet. He's obviously scored the first goal. And then straight after the first goal, he's back defending, making goal line clearances and celebrating like he scored a goal. Like this guy, the duality of this player, to score a goal and then defend, a big chance. He's a ridiculous player, and I say
he epitomises so much of what is good about this Arsenal team, I think.
He does. It's a matter of time before we start having conversations about Gabriel being the best centre-back in the world. This guy is that good. And it's not just defensively. This guy scores winners. He scores headers all the time for fun, right? He scored the first goal today, and then for the third, he gets the assist. Declan Rice puts it in, he's at the back post, heads it across, Gyökeres scores. Or is that the fourth? I don't know which goal that was. He got a goal and an assist, kept a clean sheet. This guy's an absolute monster. It's crazy.
It's true.
What a player. Probably have to go to Gabriel. I think you could shout out Zubamendi in the second half as well. He was phenomenal. The left-footed ball he put through to Martinelli. I think it was the assist for the goal. Just some great performances all around. Declan Rice, the deliveries when we needed it in the second half were on the money. That first cross from the free kick was perfect. The one that Gabriel headed back across. Some good performances, really good in that second half. Miles Lewis-Skelly, the assist for the first goal again. It was Miles Lewis-Skelly who assisted the first goal, and Zubamendi was the ball through on his left. Great performances in the second half.
Do you think that? I'm going to ask you. It's probably an obvious question, but I want to hear your thoughts anyway. That was a statement win tonight. Do you think that sent reverberations around Europe? That performance,
100%. I said it's a matter of time before we start having conversations about Gabriel being the best centre-back in the world or in Europe. I think it's a matter of time, and maybe it's now, that we start talking about Arsenal being the best team in the world or in Europe.
In the world, wow.
Who is better? There is no one right now that I look at and I say, I'm scared of playing them, or I think they'll batter us, I think they'll beat us, right? I look at our fixtures.
No, but with respect, that's a little bit different. I hear where you're going, but saying that and saying we're the best in the world is a little bit different, right?
I don't think so.
So as you say, are we not? No one doesn't fear us. I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
But if you say we're the best team in the world, whilst I might not totally disagree with that either, there might be people who say, well, slow down. It's only 8,
well, they
9
can say that.
gone.
I'm saying my point right now. I don't think there's a team in Europe that wouldn't be scared of us right now and that we can't beat, right? And this is backed up. This is backed up by pundits and fans and managers and players saying that Arsenal are favourites for the Premier League. Right, I saw Opta before the game came out. Arsenal favourites for the Champions League. I personally don't think we'll win the Champions League. I think we've got too much going on in other competitions. I think our priority is going to be the Premier League, maybe a cup competition. I think PSG are the only team right now that I think rival us for that position of one of the best, if not the best team in Europe. This defensive record, we heard it just now, is Arsenal's best defensive start to a season since Arsenal became a club.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
This team right now is genuinely set up to go on and build a legacy. I said this as well. We could look back on this team in 20 years the same way we look back on the Invincibles, the same way we look back on Sol Campbell and Patrick Vieira and Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry and Ashley Cole and these kind of players. We could look back on these players like Gabriel and Saliba and Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka and Timber with that same feeling and legacy. All they have to do now, and maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, maybe this is too much too soon, all we have to, and I say all we have to do, is go and do it, go and win. Right, we're perfectly set up.
Everything is set up. Really.
Everything is set up. We have the team, we have the players, we have the manager, the squad, the set piece coach, the assistant manager. Right, everything's in the perfect position now. The training ground, everything is perfectly placed right now to go and win. Go and win the Premier League. Right, challenge for the Champions. If we don't win the Champions League, I won't lose my head if we win something else. But we must win the Premier League. I want us to get a domestic cup as well. If we get an FA Cup or a Carabao as well. This team is set up to do it, Laurie.
No, I agree.
I don't think anyone can argue. People might watch this, which they will, and they say, deluded, you haven't won a trophy. What? I'm just saying what I see, right? I've been an Arsenal fan for a long time. I started going to the Emirates by myself when I was 12 years old, right? Sitting by myself, watching players I didn't like, players I had to pretend to believe in. You know, I go into school, all of my friends were United fans. I had to argue with the United fans about Arsenal. Arsenal weren't a good team. I watched 8-2. I watched us get beat by Chelsea 6-0. That doesn't happen anymore.
Don't remind me. Yeah.
Right? That era happened. Yeah. Right? And I'm glad we went through it because now what we're feeling and this good feeling we're getting now is because we had that. You can't have the good feeling without the bad. If you win all the time, you know, that feeling goes away.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, we was on the panel today for the watch along. Shout out to Liv, Cecil, Tossin. We're going to hear from some of those guys later. But we all said to a man, we said that the feeling that you get watching that team is that you don't really think you're going to lose. And certainly tonight, I didn't think that. From the minute we kicked off, we were on top and we maintained that pretty much right the whole way through.
For sure. And we just got to keep it going. Luck needs to go your way a little bit. We all say this when it comes to titles and whatever.
But I would say, though, everything you said is pretty much spot on. But we do need to cement it with not just a domestic trophy, with a major trophy because... The feeling at the moment is, you're right, I've not seen that in many, many years, but we've got to go on and deliver. 100%. But just finally, give us your feelings for the game coming up. Got another big game coming up on Saturday. How do you think we're going to get on?
Sunday, yeah. Crystal Palace on Sunday. Again, a game we should go and win. They were on a 19-game unbeaten streak. They lost that. And then they drew against Bournemouth 3-3, so... They're beatable. Eze will be up for it against his old team. I thought he was good again today in the first 20, 30 minutes, and then he faded a little bit. But again, a game we should be winning. Let's keep the streak going.
Well said, mate. Cheers.